Welcome to a belated Whiskey Wednesday. This week's Whiskey Wednesday. I wanted to record it last night, but I couldn't because I was doing a 2 swigs and a cig live recording on the podcast channel. So, having to do it today, Thursday. So it's not really a Whiskey Wednesday, is it? Being away, it could be Thirsty Thursday, I suppose. But anyway, it will introduce ourselves to this week's finest lovely drink, and that's the Balvenie, another one of my favourites. 12-year-old, really love this, really do love it. So that's this week's topple for the late Whiskey Wednesday, and there she is, and I just love. It's a little bit sherry. It was all born and brewed in a sherry oak cask, so and I think you can see that in the colour, but it's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely love it. Another go-to, and especially that sound, 365. This is catching, this corky sound, isn't it? Unfortunately, I haven't got my shiny precious metal glass because I used it yesterday and it's still in the dishwasher waiting for it to go on. But we do have the famous 365 large whiskey, not large whiskey, large ice cubes in my glass. So yeah, thanks to him, he sent me that, which is really cool. So cheers everybody. For anybody new, we have a quick whiz around the backdrop, and we have Cobra's Corner down here, Cobra Stacker of course. Let's zoom in a bit so we can see what's going on. Yeah, there's Cobra holding a piece. He's actually holding a 1 gram bar. I think it's backyard bullion 1 gram bar of gold. It's very extravagant. I think it's very appropriate. So we've got, all the bits that he sent me on his travels, and then we've got the stack collector chopping up his wood like he does every week. That's a lovely gift from Jim from Australia. Sent me that there. It's very kind of him. Then we've got Gold Silver Hunter, Your Time Is Mal. No, not Your Time Is Mal. I've only just had one drink. Goldie's Gold and Silver, Your Time Is Now. GG. Thank you very much for that. Scott Silver, thank you. Some backyard bullion bits. They're actually APM and the Stack Collector's 1 ounce, 1 gram silver pieces that they very kindly sent me. Camel represented Camel Finance. And then we've got some stickers. We go from the top. We've got APM, Addicted to Precious Metals, Cobra Stacker, CY Sterling, 365, Stacker Social. You hear me talking about that quite a bit now. The Stack Collector, Stephen, Blistering Barnacles Adventures. Actually, that sticker's curling up a bit, isn't it? To sort that out, it's obviously the Heat, Nerd UK, and Daft Precious Metals. Side of Sandman's represented by one of his lovely Caduce leather products, which is really cool. And then we come to this end of the table. Obviously we've got the poker chips sent to me by various people. 365 and Abalore next to 365. 365's corner, obviously surrounded by his love of copper and my love of copper products, which is fantastic. And then I've got a selection of bits out on the table in front of us. We saw the dragons last week. It's my challenge tube, obviously my whiskey, some bits of eye candy, some more dragons, some more of my poker chips, stickers. Got a few envelopes left to go out. I'm going to try and get those done tomorrow, as I've got my grandson coming for the weekend, and once he's here with my daughter, nothing's going to get done at all. So, but I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be a really good weekend. So that's around the table. The other thing I've decided to do is, pardon me, try and keep some of my whiskey, the whiskey that I have on Whiskey Wednesdays. I try and keep one of each different type of whiskey. Just obviously they're empty boxes and containers, but yeah, just as a reminder of what I like to have a drink of on a Whiskey Wednesday. So there we go. I haven't lit the candles. That's boring. Very boring, actually. So, what's been going on? Well, quite a bit. I haven't. I need to wreck my brain now from last week. Haven't watched a lot. Obviously the Stack Chat was on Saturday, and the Stack Collector had oh crikey, Stephen was on. Of course he was. Stephen was feeling a little bit under the weather, bless him, but yeah, that was an enjoyable chat to have a listen to on Sunday morning. Was there a Cobra auction last Friday, or was Cobra away? No, there wasn't a Cobra auction on the Friday. He did one. He did like a pop-up auction on the Thursday, I believe. Yes, he did. Yeah, I'm trying to think of everything I've done. Yes. Oh, crikey, what was I doing on the Thursday? Oh, we had like I was going to do one of my chats, creator chats with, oh crikey, come on CPM. Get with it, dude. Oh, jumping into silver, sorry buddy. We was going to do that on Thursday, but we ended up doing a trial run because Jumping wasn't quite sure about the Zoom setup and bits and pieces, but we did a mock, and we did a lot of testing just to get that communication right. And then we had, to believe it or not, I had a really nice conversation with him for a good hour or so, which, if that's a indicator of the type of conversation we have when we record it, it's not one to be missed for sure. But hopefully, I was hoping to try and get it done this week. Excuse me, but I can't. It's going to have to be next week now. And I know Coin Noob has reached out to go on, so yeah, Coin Noob, I haven't forgotten about you. We'll try and get that sorted out very soon. See what's Sterling as well. It's really cool. It seems to be getting very popular with people, and I'm very proud of that. Very much so. So that was last Thursday. Friday, I don't think I was doing too much other than my normal working, and really I've been playing around on Stacker Social quite a bit, trying to get used to that and getting familiar with the functionality of it, and I've really enjoyed that. I did create a few videos last week, which hopefully everybody's seen now. More in depth showing of the dragons that I purchased last week, which are absolutely stunning. Some subject matter, talking about the podcast, talking about Stacker Social, featuring the cat in our garden. A bit blowy today, so I'm indoors in the studio. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So I'm managing to get some content out of it. I can't believe how much time this is taking up now. The more you get involved as a creator, the more time it just flies by. It absolutely flies by, especially having the podcast channel as well now. It's taken up a hell of a lot of my time, which I'm thoroughly enjoying, has to be said. So moving on to the weekend, we was hoping to do a two swigs, I always get that muddled up, 2 swigs and a cig catch up, the next episode, but unfortunately Cobra was away. Camel had some family over, so we couldn't do that. But on Sunday, I recorded a really super cool, that's just for you, Stephen, super cool video podcast with Kamikaze, just me and him, and that was really interesting. That was it was quite refreshing. It was the first international, I nearly say contestant, that's crazy, isn't it? Created to come on the podcast, person to come on the podcast from America, and he offered a really nice insight into his world, how he saw things happening over in America. He's a quite a committed silver collector, which is cool to hear, and we had a great discussion, and it's that's going to be out this Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning, UK time. If you've got some time over the weekend to process that, it's a good little watch, a good little listen. It'll be out on Spotify as well. There you go, 365. That's how you drink and talk and carry on with your video. I thought that was funny on your last one. So that was really great, and that is probably going to be a monthly feature that we will record with each other, which is fantastic. So that was that. Then we're going to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All the time in the background, I have been playing around on Stacker Social. If anyone doesn't know, the guys have very kindly maybe the landlord of the Stacker Social Whiskey Lounge, and there in there there's a live voice chat, which is really cool. I'll probably be on it tonight. It's Thursday evening. I'm not sure whether I'll get this video out in time for that to be to get out there, but every Thursday I'm going to try and make sure that I'm on there, and then on the odd night I'll open up the voice chat in there for anybody to come and have a chat with. Si at the Sound Mount, obviously he normally comes as his chat because while he's away working, it's a bit of downtime for him, which is really cool. But I would encourage anybody, if you really want to, just come and say hi. We had a new guy. I'm sorry, I've forgotten who you are, and I should mention you. That's really bad of me, to be fair, and I can't look you up because I'm recording on the phone that's keyed into Discord. That was really great, because I think it wasn't last night, it was the night before. I opened up a chat and Si dropped in and we was having a good old natter, and someone new dropped in, fairly new to stacking, had a wonderful conversation. I will try and identify him in the description of this video if I remember. But yeah, it was really great, and it's what I really want to try and achieve when I open up those chats. It's sort of going to amalgamate into the same sort of thing that I'm trying to do in the podcast. It's just an open chat, encouraging people, if they want to, just to come and say hi, get that communication network going, and bring a different way of communicating into Stacker Social. And I'll be consistent with that, so watch out. I'll always post when I'm going to be having it open. Outside of that, we have a bit of fun over the weekends. I normally set a challenge for the Whiskey Lounge, and this week quite a few people took part, which was really cool. I think the theme was to post your favourite piece of silver next to your favourite glass that you drink out of, or whatever you deem as your favourite thing that you drink out of. And that was really, it's all good fun. There's it's just all for fun, and I'm trying to be creative with ways of getting people to interact a little bit in a different way. which is brilliant. So yeah, me and Stacker Social are going to grow. I love it. I love the concept of it. I think that from a creator's point of view, it's a massive chance to learn and understand your audience more. And also, if you're not a creator, it's a very wonderful place for if you're just getting into something and you want a little bit of information and you want to know, you know, a little bit more about what you're doing, not just about precious metals, about anything. There's so many opportunities and so many different subjects that you can go into. So yeah, I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it. The guys 365 obviously set it all up, or the idea was set up with 365, and co-founded with Silas Handman and the Stack Collector, and they're doing a wonderful job. And the greatest thing, the most spectacular thing, I always talk about time goes so quickly, you know, going from Wednesday to Wednesday every time we're Whiskey Wednesday. But yeah, coming up is, I can't believe it really, it's the 1 year anniversary of Stacker Social, and it's been celebrated on the 31st, that sounds very southern, Londony southern, 31st, not first as in Thursday, 31st of August, which is Saturday week, and there is going to be a massive spectacle to celebrate that anniversary on the Stack Collectors channel. Like, it's very similar to what they did on the 200 subscriber giveaway. I think it was the 200 subscriber giveaway, which was an unbelievably wonderful night. Watching Si have a good drink of whiskey, really chilling out and enjoying himself, and the perfect place for anything like that is on the Stack Collectors channel. He's an amazing contributor to the community, and for me, a very inspiring creator that I aspire to, because he pushes the limit of creation within his channel, which inspires me to do the same, which I've actually started to do more of. I know he uses OBS a lot, and I've been so tempted to ring him up and ask him for help, but I'm a little bit stubborn that way, and I have to try and learn myself, and I'm beginning to catch up with it and produce some stuff for the What podcast on OBS now, so that's really great. So yeah, that's on the 31st of August, which is Saturday week, not this Saturday, Saturday after. There is some amazing giveaways that, if you've been watching 365's videos, Si's videos, or especially keep your eye on the Stack Collectors videos, on the build up to that evening, you'll start to see what the night is going to bring. And yeah, it will be a fantastic evening, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to it totally. It'll be one of those that I will actually watch live. I will probably host in the Whiskey Lounge afterwards a anniversary after party. So that, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really honoured to be able to do that. If there's anyone sober enough to join, or I have no idea how long it's going to go on for. I know they've probably got a ton to get through, but yeah, that'd be cool afterwards as well. So yeah, that's all that amazing stuff really. I'm so super. I probably don't sound it after time because I've got lots of dulcet tones in my voice, but I am so friggin' super excited about everything that's going on, that I'm investigating and trying out. Yeah, it's great. This community is amazing, and there's some amazing people in it that are building it. much respect to them all. So that's Stacker Social, what's going on there. Now, moving on. Now, you all know I'm doing my weekly encouraging new stackers to stack. This is my challenge for the Whiskey Wednesday challenge. New stackers, to just encourage people to, you know, the advantage of just stacking 1 ounce a week. I know times are hard, I know it's an issue for some people, but excuse me, cut the long story short, I would like to inspire people just to slowly stack. Don't worry about what you see in front of you. Yeah, I'm fortunate, and my circumstances are probably different, but once upon a time they frigging weren't. I can assure you of that, like most of us. But one thing is what I've realised through my latter part of my life, and since I've been involved in investment, is it's important to, you know, dip your toe in the pond. And even if you've only got, these cost me £29. I mentioned who I'll get them from in a minute, a week, and I will continue to stack these and build a you know, a steady base stack, and try and encourage people to do the same. You don't need lots and lots of money, you really don't. So that brings me on to, let me just hide, hopefully this is my next 1 ounce piece of silver, I'm sure it is. So this, Stephen, I'm going to give a shout out to Stephen. Stephen was obviously on the Stack Chat. He's quite a big part of the community. He's been on my What podcast. Please check out his story. It's amazing. But he sends me, obviously I pay for it, but it is a very reasonable cost. He sends me these 1 ounce Britannias every week, as long as I pay him, obviously. Because it's not only a very reasonable cost, it's, I trust him explicitly. He's cheaper. He always sends it in a nice package. It's cheaper than, maybe I could search around and find something cheaper, but it comes to when I'm scratching around with just, you know, wanting to save 50p, I'd rather buy from people that I know. And there's another added advantage of Stacker Social, and people like Cobra Stackers Auction. Once you get to know them, they're very credible, extremely credible. They're building a business, well, Cobra is building a business out of it, so he's got to be legit, and he's got to be true to the point. But this is the latest Britannia from Stephen for my challenge 2020. Beautiful. I love these. I'm in the UK, so obviously we have got a bit of an issue with milk spotting, but this looks pretty cool in this light. I'm sure there's probably some little milks. Yeah, I can see them, I think. Yeah, just on Queenie's head there. But that said, it's 1 ounce of silver, so that gets added to the stack, which, and we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ounces. It's amazing, just goes so quick. And Silver Punk, he's really cool actually. He responds to this challenge, and he's trying to buy 1 or 2 ounces a week. He's doing it, which I'm so proud of. I'm so proud that he's doing it, more than anything. So well done, buddy. That's fantastic. Before long, that stack will just grow, and I will just fill this tube up that Stephen very kindly sent me. I will fill this tube up, and maybe I'm thinking at the back of my head that maybe the way to go is to get to 50 ounces and call it. That's a good base start as a base stack. But you know, that's a lot of people say, oh, it's 50 weeks. You know, it's not too far short of a year. But trust me, it goes so quick. And I'd rather have the opportunity to build that than sit back and think, oh my God, I wished I'd done that in a year's time. So that's what I'm trying to prove and encourage people to do. Obviously, do what you want to do, stick to your budget, but just one a week, and it's amazing. Look, I keep showing it because it's amazing me actually, just that pure discipline of just doing one a week. Before you know it, one turns into 2, into 3, into 4, into 5, and so on and so on and so on. Next week is going to be really cool because if you've been following my challenge, then you will know that on one of those weeks I dug out my coins that I found indoors, which I forgot all about. Change, basically British pounds, £2, 50p's, 20p's, 5p's, 10p's, 2p's, 1p's, I think that's it. All the change that I've been slinging in a pot, and I added it all up, and I managed to buy enough, 4 of these in one hit from Atkinson's, which was really cool to do. So that was a bonus, and I said I would continue to do that, throw my change into a pot, and look at this already. Now I've got enough that I think I counted it last night. This is all my change since the last time I took my change in, which was a few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks ago maybe now. And I've got an additional 1 ounce of silver just in change. So next week it'll be 2 ounces. The normal regular 1 ounce that I will discipline myself to buy, and I've got the added bonus of cashing in my change, and I've got 2 ounces. Guys, it's all about discipline, if you want to do it, of course. And there's nothing like by leading by example, which is what I'm trying to do. Hopefully long may that continue. So yeah, as always, thank you, Stephen. You get an honourable mention every week because you're helping me achieve that, and I can definitely let you know that I do get messages from different people saying they're doing the same thing and they're encouraged to do the same thing, and that's job done. Always job done when that happens. You can't go wrong, really. Pardon me. Which is excellent. So that's that. We're doing quite well with that. I can't wait until we get to that 25. Fill that first tube up. We're practically, we'll be halfway there next week. So yeah, it didn't take long, did it? Didn't take long at all. So moving on to what's been going on out there. I've got one last thing I want to talk about on the next segment. What's been going on? Yeah, Bitcoin's just been pretty sort of stagnant. It's very interesting. I'm hoping to do a podcast very soon talking about Bitcoin in more depth. For anyone that's interested, that'll be a really interesting conversation. Gold's been popping up really lovely. So it doesn't matter whether you can only afford. I think I spoke about it during the week, one of my videos about this challenge, and if you can afford 1 gram a month, maybe it's worth it because gold is doing what gold does. I would highly recommend, actually I would highly recommend, I'm not going to use it because it's not until after the podcast comes out, but Ken Kemazabi, he come up with some cracker explanations of how he sees gold, precious metals and bits and pieces. But yeah, so I'm not going to mention that yet. But yeah, gold's been doing its thing, silver's been doing its thing. If you follow Camel Finance, you know, and you're interested in cycles, then it, you know, there's a bit of a drop off in, especially today, in gold and silver. But that sort of, you know, backs up his cycle theory, which you can't ignore because, you know, I've been watching his channel for the last 2 years, and I would say a good 90% of the time that cycle theory is pretty spot on. So for me personally, if I wanted to take, rather when you see gold price come down sort of 10, 20, 30 pounds an ounce, you know, it's tempting to go, oh, jump in, but what if you can get it for another 10, 20 pounds less if you understand how cycles work? And that can have a massive knock-on effect on your investment. So I'm not saying go out there and do it, but I would definitely recommend, you know, learn it. You know, if you've got the time and if you care about, you know, the value of your investments, then it's best to educate yourself on everything. Because once upon a time I would have just seen it come down 30 quid and I thought, yeah, I want to jump on it, but I just want to just make sure that personally there isn't any more downside coming according to cycle theory. Because if there is, I'd rather, you know, just wait and be patient and then maybe get in, you know, hoping that I can get in on that next gold purchase, you know, a few pounds cheaper, because that all adds up at the end of the day further down the line. So it's worth it. Same with silver, but same with any investment really, to be fair. So yeah, that's a little nugget you could take on board. So I don't think there's any other updates that I need to talk about. I'm just having a good think. I'll have a sip of Say You Do It 365. Just have a drink every now and then, chill out and relax. And by the way, the Stat Collector showed it on his channel, and he features it on his channel, and I think, was it yesterday you put out a video, 365, with that coloured dragon copper coin was just flipping amazing. And I can visualize it up here on the backdrop. It's stunning. It's stunning. The colorization and innovation in the colorization of coins has moved on massively. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, is there anything else? No. So my final part of Whiskey Wednesday would be, I'm going to talk about the What podcast. Last night, Wednesday, was the first time. I've been really working hard in the background trying to get my head around how OBS works, to try and make the visual of my videos. And this is where I get the inspiration from the Stat Collector. He inspires me. I'm not sure whether I always say it to him, but hopefully he believes me, and hopefully he can see the effect of my latest podcast and how that's changing the dynamics of the visual. And the reason why I want to change the dynamics of the visual is because most of the time when we're talking to people, you can't really see them. I know I put my ugly mush on there sometimes, but most of the time people are very precious about their precious metal stacking journey, and I get it, and they want to protect their identity at all costs, which totally makes sense. Makes a ton of sense. So, you know, watching the Stat Collector over probably the last 6 months, he's made his visual presentation so appealing, and that's converted into the Cobra Stackers auction. You know, I know it's helped Cobra immensely make that visual entertaining process really cool. So I've been so tempted to message him. I know he's reached out and just said to me, because this is the type of guy he is, he's unbelievable. He's reached out on numerous times saying if I ever need any help, if whatever. But I'm a little bit stubborn. I like to understand what I'm doing. I've got a pretty cool engineering background, so I like to understand the process, because if there's an issue, I don't want to be able to rely on anybody to solve the issue. I want to be able to try and work out and solve it myself if I can. And that's something I've done all throughout my career. So yeah, I've put quite a bit of time and effort into learning how to get a better visual out there, and I'm really pushing that creativity inside of me, from my photography, from, you know, all that creative so-called mind of mine, which is a bit crazy sometimes, into making the message more appealing, because the underlying message is more important, but the visual is the attraction. So that converted into lots of tests, lots of tryouts, lots of me not understanding, a few late nights, and I got to the stage where yesterday on Wednesday I was pretty confident, as long as my computer would hold up what I was trying to do, because that's a big thing. And we run our first live with Camel Finance. Unfortunately, Cobra couldn't make it on the two swigs of the sig. But I was absolutely blown away that, one, I'll talk about the podcast in a minute, but one, it worked. So that was just like, wow, that was just so incredibly cool for me. That I managed to sort it out. I managed to make it a bit more of a visual, for me anyway, a bit more of a visual entertaining process. Yeah, I was dead excited about that at the end of the day. But we went live on it as well, which was a bit of a worry for me, but it worked, definitely. So something's falling over. Just gonna stand it up. There we go. It worked, and boy, was it an incredible experience. Now, really, you know, obviously Cobra should have been in there, but the lads have had the opportunity to, I think the last two swigs and a sig, Cobra come up with the suggestion of what he wanted to talk about, and then it was Camel's turn, and he actually said, like, he cheated a little bit. He actually got some questions from a lot of viewers, and boy, has he got a lot of viewers. His channel is really growing at an exponential rate. It's amazing to watch. But yeah, he got a lot of questions. So we went live, and my heart was in my mouth at the beginning, but we'd done a few tests beforehand, so I'd sort of, in theory, it was more about my I know my internet connection's pretty damn cool. It was more about the software and the hardware that I'm running it on, but it held up and it worked. And yeah, we had a really cool live, lots of questions. You know, for me, it was, without Cobra being there, it was more me and Camel, which is not something I'm used to on two swigs and a sig, but it's kind of cool to be interacting. There was a lot of questions. There was a lot of people in the chat that actually, it you know, from my first experience of doing a live chat on there, it was definitely very popular. It got a bit heavy, but I like that to a degree. there was a lot of truth said. There was a lot of thought-provoking questions that allowed me to express myself a little bit more than what people were used to hearing, and the same for Camel. And I noticed in the chat, although I wasn't really taking much notice of it, but I could see it on my phone next to my computer, there was some deep conversation. But the after effect of it is, one, it was very successful because it worked. Two, for me, even more successful because the stuff we were talking about, people actually sent me some messages late last night, and I read them, and a few more today, that they say has helped them on their own personal journeys. And that is so awe-inspiring for me to what I'm trying to achieve as a podcast, and all my interactions with Stecker Social and, you know, Creative Precious Matters channel. It's really coming together. It's quite emotional. It's amazing once you start to open a medium of open chat, and as long as people are comfortable, they start to express themselves how really we should be expressing themselves. It's such a lonely space out there sometimes for some people. It's incredibly lonely, and I've always wanted to try and create a cyberspace place that allows everybody to be a little bit more confident and being open about some of the bollocks and shit that some of us have to go through. And I think last night's live opened that up immensely, absolutely immensely. And I was very observant to what was being said in the chat, albeit I was involved with the conversation on the podcast. I was very observant to it, and I've been observant to the comments and the messages I've been sent today and late last night. So I'm deeply honoured to be able to provide that space, and I don't take it lightly. There'll be some stuff that possibly opens up thoughts and processes within people, and it's very deeply personal, and I'm so honoured that people are starting to share that sort of stuff with me now. Yeah, it awe-inspiring, and this is going to be a test, really, not only for me but for the community. There's going to be some stuff that people will talk about. Someone said to me, actually, someone mentioned something quite deep during the chat, and I missed it, to be fair. I'm really sorry, but I did miss it. Anyway, they told me, I'm not going to say who it was or what it was or anything. It's irrelevant. But the thing is, it was out there, and I just thought, wow, it's so cool, because it means that I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job, and one of the most important things that gets me really excited about doing my job is that it proves that I am working really hard to make sure that whatever I'm producing, when I turn around and say this is an open space to feel free to express yourself and not keep certain things within yourself, because you'll probably notice that I will slowly start to reveal more about myself the more I'm confident, and that, you know, it's a two-way thing. The more I'm confident, the more hopefully other people will be confident as well. because it's so frigging important. We all go on so much about, look at what I've done, look at this, look at that, but I think we overlook the underlining issues that most of us have to deal with that we don't talk about. And I'm all for sharing and having an open space to make people, if they want to, of course, feel free enough to express it every now and then. So I don't want anyone to feel that they need to apologise for anything they comment on. I understand, I get it. I really, the first swear word, I really fucking get it. I really do. And if I do my job right, and if I've learned anything in life from a wisdom point of view to express that through the mediums I'm choosing to express it through, then you'll all find out that we're all the same. We're all the same, but we're all at different stages of life. Yeah, it was amazing. I am so over the moon. I want to give a big shout out to, there's a few people that regularly like bloody blow smoke up their arse, but they've had a massive influence on me personally. But again, 365, he was in there. Recently with the What podcast, we hit eligibility to be monetized, which is amazing considering we only started in May. I never forget the very first couple of videos I did as Creative Precious Metals, thinking, oh my, I don't think I'll ever get to 10 subscribers. And yeah, that's progressed amazingly with the networking that I've managed to do and be a part of. It isn't all about me, it's all about everyone else as well. And then moved on to setting up a podcast, which has been the same thing. It's really growing really well. Obviously, I'm doing the right thing because people are seeing some sort of value in it. And it isn't a case of now, will I ever get 10 subscribers? It's, will anyone ever contribute a monetary value to it? And 365, bless him, did it last night. Very first person, he's in there, the first person to send the channel some money. Now a lot of people go, oh God, that wasn't a lot, it's nothing. And a lot of people say it's nothing, but to me, it was absolutely, it might as well have been $1 billion, $1 million, £1 million, £1 billion, £1,000, because it means everything. It just means everything. And I'm not sure whether even 365 realizes what that means to me and my channel. Maybe he does, I don't know. But he was the first person, and I sit there and I think, well, not only have I got, I'm chasing up that 1,000 subscribers relatively quickly, to be fair, but also there's a monetary value coming into that product as well, which is mind-blowing. And it doesn't, you probably heard me say before, you give me £1 every week and you'll soon get fed up giving me £1 every week, because oh God, £1, really? Do I want to give you £1 or £10? All of a sudden £10 becomes a lot of money, or £1 becomes a lot of money when you're having to do it on a regular basis. It's amazing. I'm humbled, I am honoured. Yes, he did it. It could have been anybody, but he did it, and he will be forever known as the very first person to contribute in a monetary value to the What podcast. Does that make him a god? No, obviously not. That just, it just blows me away that anything's possible. It's crazy. But behind that, I will say, if you can't get off your arse and create and try something, then you will never see or reap the benefit of your hard work, of your hard exchange of time and energy. You've heard me talk about this, I don't know, a zillion million times. It's amazing. It's just incredible, and it gives me so much get up and go to continue. That said, there's some messages I received today about the podcast that we did last night that had no monetary value, but they far outweighed any monetary value that anyone could give me. It's the complete opposite. And this is the trick, guys. This is the I've spoke to Cobra about this so much, and I'm speaking to Camera about it a little bit more. This is the trick. This is where we find out in ourselves what the true value of value is. You know, I know it's tough, and I know it's hard, and I know there's so many distractions, and I know there's so many things that say, oh, you've got to earn this and earn that and whatever. But you must never forget, but you can if you want to, because it's up to you. I'm not your daddy, you do what the fuck you like. But you must never forget the true value of what you can bring to a community at any time, at any place. It isn't about how many, it's about how you can affect one. And I can't talk any more on that because I get too emotional thinking about it. I would definitely, I see the value in affecting the many and reaping the reward from it, because that's what we're taught. But my God, if you touch one person, the reward is immense, incredible. You can't duplicate it in any other way. It's amazing. So there you go. That's how I'm going to wrap up this Whiskey Wednesday. It's been great. It's been emotional. It's been fantastic. My whole journey is just amazing. I can't thank everybody that's coming along with it. I thank everybody that is allowing me to be included in making my journey fulfilled. I'm dead excited. I'm totally 100% behind everything I've said. If I find out, one thing I will say to everybody is, if I get an inkling that something's wrong and I can't resolve it, then you'll know. You will totally know, because my whole outlook will change. But that said, it doesn't make me a god, it doesn't make me right, it doesn't make me wrong. Yeah, I love it. I love it. This whole aspect of my journey on YouTube, on social media, has changed so much. I can't thank you all enough. I wish you all well. I love you all lots. Take good care. See you later. Bye.